Hello, Lorraine County basketball fans. Welcome back to another episode of In the Paint, brought to you by First Federal Savings of Lorraine. I'm Rocco Nuosci. A big shout out, as always, to Kristen Bauer behind the camera. Well, the tournament brackets have been released for both the boys and the girls side of the equation, so we'll have some more tournament coverage as this show progresses in the coming weeks. But for now, we'll focus on the tail end of the regular season, but we will touch on a couple of tournament things at the end of today's episode. So without further ado, let's get into who's hot right now in Lorraine County. And what feels like for the first time this season, finally, I get the chance to talk about the Wellington Dukes. A big time win for them over the weekend. I know Coach Gunder was thrilled to finally have a Friday night win. It was Wellington's first Friday night win of the season. So we got a chance to catch up with Coach on the Nick Abraham Saturday Sports Wrap-Up Show. They beat Firelands 54-51. That's their second win in a row. And in that win over the Falcons, it was all about Jaden Roberts. He had a double-double for the Dukes, 25 points, 14 rebounds in the winning effort. So big shout out to Wellington again, getting that first Friday night win of the season. They were down 5 with just about 5 minutes left in that one. So big shout out to the Dukes there. Elsewhere in the Lorraine County League, Columbia, they continue to roll, winners of 5 straight now. On Friday night on WEOL, they beat up Brookside pretty good. 106-75 was the final score there. So you can see with Brookside, as much progress as they've made this season under Coach Larry Babick, still a little bit of ways to go before they really get to that top tier status in the Lorraine County League. But still good effort for the Cardinals nonetheless. But the Raiders, again, just too big, too strong, too fast for Brookside on Friday. Vince Berardi, 27 points and a 12 rebound double-double for him. So Raiders playing good basketball right now, and depending on how this week and next week kind of shakes out, Friday, February 18th, Columbia and Oberlin, that one could be for the Lorraine County League title. And in the SWC, after a loss to Berea, Mid-Park Amherst has now won 2 in a row. Once again, the Comets back on the winning trail. Coach Pat Bray on the wrap-up show made sure to shout out a couple of guys who maybe don't show up in the box score as frequently as others. We know about the Georges, Gotsis and Fair, Austin Bray as well. But how about a guy, Tori Witherspoon? We mentioned him quite a bit during football season. Didn't have a point in Friday night's win, but he still makes all kinds of hustle plays, as Coach Pat Bray mentioned on the wrap-up show. So big shout out to Tori in the comments for getting that win on a Friday night. Now let's go to the girls' side, where one team that I was very, very excited to talk about this week, the Columbia Lady Raiders. I mean, what else can be said? Maybe the best week of the season for any girls team in the county. They hand Firelands their first conference loss of the season. Delaney Frisconi has a game-winning bank shot from about 10 feet. The clip was on Twitter, on social media, if you want to check it out. Just a huge win for the Raiders. We caught up with Coach Taylor Saturday morning, talked about the win. He was really excited for the afternoon matchup with Keystone later, and then they beat the Lady Wildcats as well. So the Lady Raiders playing fantastic ball right now. Mallory Hoddle had a game-winning 3 against Keystone, so shout out to the Lady Raiders right now. Elsewhere in girls basketball, Elyria Catholic has punched their ticket to the GLC title game. They picked up a 55-49 win over Rocky River over the weekend. Coach Rothgary's group playing some good ball right now, and a great story kind of mentioned in the Chronicle Telegram from that post-game write-up. Carter McCrae, one of Elyria Catholic's players this season, she was away from the game of basketball for 2 whole years, as Coach Rothgary mentioned. No AAU, no organized basketball of any kind, just totally away from the game of basketball for 2 years. Well, in that semifinal win over Rocky River, she has 13 points and 13 rebounds. So, I mean, quite a performance for her. And again, for somebody that's missed 2 years of basketball, for her to have that kind of impact in a game at that level, big time stuff right there. So a big shout out to Carter. Elsewhere in the girls scene, Lorraine, the Lady Titans, not a team we've mentioned a whole lot this season. They've quietly won 7 in a row as they continue to play very good basketball. Brooklyn Ferguson has been a name to watch for Lorraine. She had 25 points in a win over Shaker Heights, in which Lorraine came back from down 12 points late in that one. So a big shout out to Brooklyn and the Lady Titans. I'll have some more on them here in a second. So what else is happening around Lorraine County as far as the basketball scene is concerned right now? Well, after falling to Amherst earlier last week, Keystone picked up a huge Friday night win over Oberlin, handing the Phoenix their first conference loss of the season. I know Marissa McNeese and I had a chance to break this one down with Coach Holzhauer on the Saturday Sports Wrap-Up Show, and boy, oh boy, what a game that was. What a comeback for the Wildcats there. You look at 2 names in particular, Christian Pataky and Connor Rodick really leading the way there. Christian had a 26 and 10 double-double. You had 20 points from Connor Rodick. And again, just no quit from the Wildcats in that game. They come back in the fourth quarter, send it to overtime, and they get the win at home, 64-60. Back to Lorraine with Brooklyn Ferguson. I mentioned the 25-point outing for her against Shaker Heights. Well, earlier in that week, she broke the girls' three-point shooting record at Lorraine, nailing 6 triples in a win over Bedford. That earned her Player of the Week honors in the Chronicle Telegram as far as the girls go. On the boys' side, it was Ty Locklear getting those honors. He had 55 points in 2 games, 2 wins over Open Door and Trinity. So shout out to both Brooklyn Ferguson and Ty Locklear. And finally, kind of a thing we've done earlier in the year with this show is take a look at some of the former Lorain County athletes who are now playing collegiately or even professionally for that matter. Well, one former Lorain Titans standout that I got to catch on TV this past weekend was Day Grant for the Miami Redhawks. Many of you remember Day, quite the player for the Lorain Titans. He continues to play really good ball collegiately for Miami. He did not get a win over the weekend in 2 losses to the University of Akron Zips, but Day did have 18 points in Friday night's loss, and he continues to lead the Redhawks with scoring just over 16 points per contest for Day. So just thought that was worth mentioning. Shout out to Day. Continues to play awesome ball for Miami, and you see some love for him still on social media to this day. So what's coming up next as far as the basketball scene in Lorain County goes? Well, on WEOL, make sure you tune in on Thursday. It'll be Keystone at Firelands. A girls matchup should be a fun one there. Again, Keystone and Firelands on Thursday. We'll have that one for you on WEOL. Friday, an SWC battle. Friday night boys basketball. It'll be Elyria at Amherst. A 7 o'clock start there. You can catch the recap from that one and many more on the Nick Abraham Saturday Sports Wrap-Up Show. Saturday morning, myself and Jared Kozar will actually be live at the dealership, Nick Abraham, Elyria Ford, again, 9 to 11. Make sure you tune in. And then later, we'll have afternoon girls basketball. Rob Polinsky has the call. Wellington at Vermilion. That one will be a 2 o'clock game. And quickly, I want to mention a couple of girls tournament games in action this Saturday. 4 Division I games. Again, the opening round of the girls tournament. Here are the games. It'll be Max S. Hayes at Midview. Elyria will be at Lorraine. John Adams will be at Avon Lake. And Amherst will play host to Valley Forge. So there are your four girls tournament matchups this week in Lorain County. So should be a fun week of basketball here in Lorain County. Again, the regular season starting to wind down. Tournament action gets underway this weekend. Doesn't really get much better than that. And of course, that month of March right around the corner. So we're very, very excited to bring the end of that regular season and of course, tournament action to you here on WEOL and the Chronicle Telegram. So that will do it for us for this week. A big shout out to Kristen Bauer once again behind the camera. This has been In the Paint, brought to you by First Federal Savings of Lorraine. We'll see you next time.